FTW. You mad? FTW Broadcasting here for the win. Bringing you that hot League of Legends action that you desire. This is a high elo match, 2100 plus elo, C4Tuna. Shout out for giving us this replay, we really appreciate it. Posting this video up on TGN Central, and there's a big, giant, annoying link on the screen right now. You need to click that. You need to go subscribe to the TGN League of Legends channel. That's where all of our League of Legends content's gonna be from now on. There's going to be only a few videos here and there posted on Central, so subscribe to the League of Legends channel. Anyway, enough of my jibber jabber. My name's Awall, and joining me is MBD and KOT. MBD, how you doing? And tell me about your red team.
I'm doing just great. I'm feeling pretty good about my red team here. We have C4Tuna as the jungle Nautilus, always effective, always dangerous in the jungle. Danger, speaking of always effective and always dangerous, we have him as the Pax Jax up in the top lane. We have Legendary Josh playing the 80 range. Corky on Earth Rider Corky. Lots of good skins here. Zaydust playing as the Kennen in the middle, and Bailey Bijia? I don't know, whatever. Playing Janna as support. Nice, interesting spot. She went and she dropped a ward in their blue as they went to invade. I like that. That's good. It's a good move there, and then you can see that they can see the basic double invade, which leads to about nothing happening.
KOT, your blue team is running around in the woods. They did get spotted by that ward, as MBD said. Tell us about your blue team, man.
My blue team I'm pretty excited about. We have a pretty strong team here. Slamtastic Voyage, little Coolio throwback, playing Blitzcrank, gonna be going down with Worm in the bottom is Graves. Very strong combo, since Graves obviously is short range burst. He does a lot of damage. That should be exciting to watch. Then we have Doom Trobo as Ari in the mid, and Game Changer Skarner in the jungle. Skarner does have some pretty good ganks. That should also be exciting. And then Dan Reborn playing Malphite top. So we finally get to see somebody do it right, unlike Awall, who's been on a Malphite kick and not been doing so well.
Hey, whenever I play by myself, I win. Whenever I play with you, I lose. So does that say something? Malphite's such a strong pick in the top lane. I love it. I was trying to support Malphite. Requires a little more practice, I'd say, but in the top lane, I think everyone can more or less unanimously agree, very viable for high elo play. Malphite solo top, rock solid.
Both of the junglers here, I want to point out, both of the junglers here stole the blue and then left one of the little lizards, like in their face.
Wow,
yeah,
very nice.
Well, that's what you do. For those of you who don't know, it prevents the creep spawn from creep from respawning. It prevents the reset of the timers. So you leave that one there, and then the respawn timer will start to come back and clear it, which delays them from getting blue for their mid.
So essentially, this double counter jungle that we saw early game was worthless. They should have just stayed. They both should have just stayed in their own jungle. But regardless, it was interesting to see that play out. Sometimes that results in some first blood, at least.
Well, they did stop the blue from respawning for both of them. They slowed down that respawn timer, so there wasn't a complete loss. The red team can actually see if I don't know if they're even noticing, but they can actually see that the creep is still there, though. And as Skarner is now clearing out his creep, he had a pretty good idea that was happening, I guess.
Yeah, kind of disappointing that we don't see Nautilus headed over there first, but he does have to, keep sort of with his jungle rotation. But once again, it is going to delay blue for his middle, and that's going to put, that's going to give his Kennen, not that Kennen really needs the blue. I guess it's not that big a factor since Kennen isn't a mana champ, but, minor mistake, something that they probably should have taken care of. He's gonna find out about it here in just a second, but, also, notice this one lone wolf here. Another, way to set your opponent's jungle behind, clear all but one of everything. All of the neutral spawns, just leave one there, and
just be super annoying. That's the most annoying thing a jungle can do, really. And it looks like that Nautilus did get spotted by that really nice ward placement there. So many blue pings. They know Nautilus is in the jungle right now. They're going to start pursuing. Here's Skarner with his blue buff. Going to start taking him down. Skarner's in a tough spot. If there's a pull here on Nautilus, it might be a kill. And there it is. And now Graves comes up from behind, wisely deciding to come support that operation. First blood for the blue team.
Right, and that whole thing came into account because of this ward right here. That ward indicated everything that happened. They saw it happening. Blitzcrank followed him up through the jungle. He pinged. He figured, hey, he's going to go up here. He's going to look at the rays. He's going to look at the red. Blitzcrank went around, Skarner went around, Graves followed up, and that's really what it is. Just paid attention to the information they got when they saw him just peek out just for a second. They saw him, and then they were able to capitalize on it.
Since we're talking so much about jungle, KOT, how do you feel with the matchup between Nautilus and Nautilus and Skarner? Who do you feel like is the stronger jungler right now in high elo play?
Nautilus, I think, is the strongest jungler right now, period. Nautilus just has such a good kit. He gets to be so tanky, and he still does so much damage. He's just really just super strong jungle. I think he's just the strongest jungler right now, period.
I'm in love with Nautilus right now.
Oh yeah, plus, the fact that he throws an anchor, there's something just, kind of primal about that. It's a little bit sexy. It appeals to me.
It is sexy. Speaking of anchor throw, he's diving in on this Malphite top. Malphite, so hard to kill. There was the dredge line pulling him in at the last moment. The ignite is not going to kill him, but Jax jumps on that to make sure he gets the kill top. Jax can have some trouble versus a Malphite in the top lane. Malphite very strong, actually a pretty decent counter to a Jax, so that was a needed gank in the top lane.
Well, and that's often what separates good junglers from mediocre junglers, is, knowing which lanes, which matchups are going to tend to need a little more attention from you. Nautilus can pretty much gank anybody.
Nice kill in their bottom. You heard that weird noise I made? Woo! That was because of that disgusting pull, hopping in there, getting hyper aggressive on the enemy's tower. Nice pull by Blitzcrank. Decent kill.
Yeah, I'm still trying to comprehend in my mind that noise you made.
Ooh.
Oh wow, he's doing it again. He keeps doing it. Like he won't stop. Like he thinks it's like he doesn't realize it's ridiculous.
That's how I do. C4Tuna heading to the bottom lane, wanting to get a kill on this Graves.
Yeah, right. He walked right across that ward though, so that Graves is he gone.
No, Graves is not going to let that happen. Graves is kind of a difficult champion to gank anyway, just simply because he's got that dash. If he starts boots and uses his dash, he can dodge skill shots and, really put some distance between him and some other champions. He's such a strong AD right now.
I would definitely say that with the Mafia skin, he would definitely say that he cheesed it out of there.
He did cheat it.
Oh, but not enough.
Oh man, that dredge line connecting immediately. Corki following up with the Gatling gun. Stupid directed camera. Moved the camera across the screen right when that kill happened. Corki with some collateral damage.
He should have cheesed it out of there, I guess.
Well, and I think probably his biggest mistake, he didn't have any mana. A Graves without mana still is, is fairly strong, but he doesn't have any of the tools in his toolbox. So, all of the great things about him, he really can't do any of them. He can't burst, he can't get away, he can't smoke screen. So, at that point, unless he just needed 15, 25 more gold, whatever, for his next item, he probably just should have gone back. His support wasn't there. Blitzcrank had left. And,
he knew Nautilus was floating around there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Is he floating? Get it? The water.
I got it. Yeah, water joke. Very nice.
I don't
Nautilus...
think anchors float. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that anchors don't float.
And
I don't know.
I'm just saying. He's a diver.
That's debatable. That's debatable. He is a diver.
Divers don't float either. It's kind of... swimmers float.
Alright, so in the top lane, we've got this Malphite Jax matchup. Who do you feel like is a stronger top soloed right now? Because Jax, a lot of people regarding Jax as one of the strongest top solos in high elo play, if not the strongest. Do you feel like Malphite is a good counter, or at least a good matchup?
He's a decent counter with a lot of a lot of armor. The attack speed slow. He's a decent counter. Malphite's starting to get a little bit of attention up top, and we'll be seeing more of him, I think, coming forward. But really, Jax is considered one of the strongest top for a good reason. He's just a great duelist, and that's what the top lane is all about. It's all about that duel.
Yeah, it's strictly a 1v1 match, and his passive makes it difficult to get in there and effectively trade. You do have to burn through that shield, but Jax, he does do a lot of damage, and some of these higher elo players they stack RPen instead of flat damage. So, it really just depends on your rune set and really the general strength of each of the players. I mean, as always, but especially in the top lane, because it is such a 1v1 type scenario. It really is all about individual skill more so, I think, than the particular matchup.
Fair enough. Well, how about late game, though? Obviously, there's the dueling element in the beginning of the game, but what about once you get towards late game and mid game? Obviously, Malphite always useful because of that ultimate and his ability to tank and the decent amount of CC that he brings to the table.
Right. In the late game, you're looking at just two different roles that they're taking on there. The Malphite is going to be more tanky, he's going to have that great initiation, but his damage tapers off something severe come late game. So, C4Tuna just comes charging in. You see that with the Nautilus jungles a lot. They'll just come charging right down the lane. It's like just dredge line somebody and call it a day.
Nothing sneaky about it. Just head straight in.
No finesse.
He's got his mobility boots as well. Is that something that we're starting to see more commonly these days with the mobility boots? Just because that Nautilus is roaming so freaking much?
You see him about half the time, I feel. It just depends. Well, half the time, depending on the jungler, and there's a nice dredge line, and it's all about getting in that position. And he's hyper aggressive here with the flash. Oh, there it is, very nice. Oh.
Doesn't matter, you can't dodge that ultimate, and I thought Malphite was going to escape there, using his ultimate to get out. Didn't save his life. Now Nautilus is getting aggressive, headed to the top lane right now. Who's he gonna target? Looks like it's gonna be Ahri, but is this going to disrupt this this essentially tower dive right now? Nautilus ruining the plans of the red team. Skarner goes down. Ahri is now gonna go down. What looked like, oh no, Jax barely got killed there. Jax did get killed by Ahri. I thought he was gonna save I can't even talk right now. I thought he was going to save Jax's life and result in a double kill, but ended up, red team did come out on top, though. Fantastic timing by Nautilus.
Yeah, and that's, like I was saying, the mobility boots are becoming very popular with the junglers for that reason. You could be in the mid, and then you're up top, and then you're down below, and you're everywhere you need to be. As long as they're very useful as long as your map awareness is up there, and you make your way to where you need to go just a few moments before you think you need to get there, and then that extra burst of movement speed is, that gets you those kills.
True. You do have to be roaming. If you're basically passively farming your jungle, maybe doing a little countering, then the mobility boots are not going to be that effective. If you have strong ganks and you're doing a lot of it, then they can certainly pay off in a big, big way.
Speaking of which, he's just sitting here in the middle lane, waiting for Malphite to overextend by just a little bit again. But it didn't work out that time. Now he's just going to head down to the bottom lane, like you said. Very, very active Nautilus. It's been working out pretty well so far. Well, no doubt we're going to see some big assist numbers late game.
Yeah, I think that's just the way you have to play Nautilus, and there he is. He's engaging on Skarner here. Was that a steal? No. Skarner pops his smite to get the red. Now he's going to try and run away here. Yeah, I think he's going to get away just fine.
Well, in the meantime, we have Corki and Janna coming back around in the woods by the triangle bush. Now you've got Blitzcrank, but his grab is on cooldown. So he's unable to pull somebody out of position there. Now he's getting caught 4v1, headed back to his tower to try to save his life. This is a tense situation. Now the red team's kind of in between two towers with 3 champs. Here comes Malphite. If we can get a good Malphite pop-up, this could be terrible for the red team.
And Malphite is kind of all alone there, and that was a pop-up, but not a great one.
That was not a good pop-up, no. Only connecting with Corki. Unfortunate there, but now they're going to pull back to the tower. Maybe now that Malphite's in the picture, it'll save their asses. No, complete dive here from the red team. This is disgusting. Kennen doing such a retarded amount of damage. Blitzcrank finally taking him down. Oh my, it was actually a pretty even exchange. Red team came out on top by a little bit, though, because Corki survived.
Corki did survive. Their jungle's down, Blitzcrank is down. That removes a lot of their, sort of CC. Maybe Blitzcrank's is, I guess, more of a displacement move, but obviously Skarner's suppression very strong. So, the next engage they have, well, everybody's going to be back up, but, if they had pushed that, if they'd been able to push that, then it would have worked out much better for them. Instead, everybody's going to be in sort of reset.
And you got to wonder how that would have gone down had Malphite not basically wasted his ultimate there early on. Then again, Kennen might not have moved in knowing that the ult was up.
Fair enough. He could have gotten a pop up in that bush, and that could have been epic. Could have been epic. Who knows? It's a what if scenario. But next time we're gonna have probably everyone will be there in play in the team fight. Without Jax and Ahri in that last fight, we don't really know how these big team fights are gonna result late game. Now we see a dragon attempt here, and this robot is disrupting.
Yeah, Nautilus is not shy about popping that ultimate.
You're right, no, he just kind of used it like a normal spam right there to try to secure this kill on Blitzcrank.
It's a great target pop-up if somebody's looking like they're going to get away, but not with a lot of health. It's fairly trivial to pop him, pop him up, especially with some of your teammates there to follow up on it, it's pretty much a guaranteed kill. So no reason not to, and the cooldown on it is not that long. It's about 120 seconds, which is, kind of long, not that long, but if you can use it to secure a kill, then better to use it than to save it.
Fair enough.
True enough.
And, let's look at it mathematically. The more times, the sooner you use your ultimate, the more times you get to use it in a game. The longer it spends, up, the fewer times you're going to be able to use it overall.
All right, so you hear that, Jana players? Use your ultimate every time it comes up.
Math.
You do the math on that one. No, but that's a great point. And it looks like we've got a Skarner interested. Why is this Skarner hugging this tower right now and letting Ahri out front? Is Skarner going to try to beast in here and try to get a kill on Jax?
He's kind of waiting for Jax to commit like that.
Wow, okay, saved his flash so we could try to pull him into the tower. I guess our question was answered. Will Jax be able to escape? Probably.
Yeah, with his pop ghost, he's got his healthy potion, and he jumps. There it is.
Very, very
nice.
nice.
The ghost saves him.
Sudden appearance of Nautilus saves him there. Otherwise, they continue that dive and finish the job.
Malphite pop-up right on the tower, diving him. Great pop-up there by Malphite. Heading on out, though, but Kennen really capitalizing on this situation. Skarner in a tough spot, trying to run away from Kennen. Kennen decides to pull back instead of getting that so that they can secure the kill on Malphite top.
I mean, I would say overall that was just excellent play by Jax. He pulled out when he knew he wasn't going to be able to stay in and stay alive, but even at low health, when he knew he could jump in and go ahead and duel that third health Malphite. Malphite had way more health than he did. Not way more, but a significant amount. But he's able to still jump in and finish the job, knowing that Kennen's running Ahri off.
Once again, Red coming up by just a little bit, like 1 or 2 champ kills here and there in these team fights, and it's starting to add up for them. Even though they didn't get the first dragon. I'm sorry, did Red team get the first dragon? Am I mistaken?
I don't actually know exactly what happened with that dragon, to be perfectly honest.
Pretty sure Red got
distracted.
Yeah, they're up by 5 kills though. This is the point right now. And is this going to start snowballing into mid game? Is anybody really getting especially farmed right now? Graves right now in command in terms of farm in the bottom lane.
That's true. I mean, but Graves has no kills. Corki has a kill. He's ahead by about 30 CS, so Corki is a little bit behind, but not as far behind as it maybe looks from the CS. What you do notice here is that both the team gold count is very, very close. They're within about 1,500 gold of each other, and that's just not much at this point, which actually leads me to believe that blue team probably got a couple of dragons there that we didn't catch simply because they're keeping up so well. They do have 1 tower, and that does tend to help a lot in terms of the team gold.
Fair enough. We're terrible casters for forgetting something that happened just a few minutes ago. Regardless, Ahri getting murdered top. Once again, Nautilus at the right place at the right time. Again, getting another gank top. He is really capitalizing on that top lane. That is paying off for him big time.
Well, yeah, and back to that point we were making about the mobility boots before. He's able to be everywhere he needs to be, just in the nick of time. Just in the nick of time, and that to me is what's making these mobility boots pay off for him. So I think it's probably a situational pick depending on how much you're going to be able to gank. You kind of have to play that by ear. If you notice that your opponents are pushing really hard, then maybe go ahead and pick them up so that you can do a lot of roaming. But if they're playing very passively, then maybe you should focus on either more damage or, some defense.
Jax taking down that top tower now. Gonna even things up in terms of tower count. Boom, there it is, and he's heading on out. Now we're moving towards mid-game. Looks like there's gonna be a gank here mid.
Oh, yeah. See, once you picked up that tower, they started to pull ahead, a little more significantly in terms of gold. They were about 1,500 gold ahead. Now they're about 3K ahead. So not all of that. Obviously, there was a kill secured and etc. But the towers do make a big difference in money.
Oh, of course they are. Like Chromar says, they're like bags of gold, but just with a security system. And it's absolutely true. MBD, are you back with us? It looked like you had disconnected a moment ago.
Yeah, I had a little issue there, but I am back.
You shut down your porn torrents?
Yeah, that was my issue.
Fair enough. Jax jumping the bones of Ahri top again. Ahri unable to duel properly. And look at this Nautilus. Nautilus is just always there. Anytime Jax needs anything, Nautilus is just, hey, what's up? Got my mobility boots. I'm in the game. It's all good. And this Nautilus has been so effective. So far, this Nautilus is getting my MVP nomination already. We're not even to the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, there he is with the ult right there on the tower. Kennon's coming in, Blitzcrank in. Ooh.
Sort of a wasted ultimate there from Blitzcrank, but Kennen did get killed. Sort of overextended there. They didn't have enough help from the rest of the team, to be quite honest. There was only a Nautilus and a Janna there. Jax was up top. Corki was down bottom. Not enough damage on board for Red Team to really capitalize, and looks like they're going to really pay for it.
Yeah, kind of a bad engage there overall. No real such thing as a wasted Blitzcrank ultimate after all. It does have like a 20-second cooldown or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, it's about to be back now already, actually. So yeah, you're right.
See? Don't save it. The more you use it, the more you get to use it.
Fair enough.
There you go.
Fair enough. So here we go. Middle tower, no doubt, going to go down. What is this Jax going to be able to do? Jax has been farming and farming and farming. Almost top farmer in the game right now. Very powerful. Got the basic components he needs. He has his Sheen on board. Now he's going to jump in and engage. He's got a Corki to follow it up this time. Is this burst damage going to be insane? Let's see if they're able to capitalize. No.
A man shield from the Blitzcrank. So annoying.
That shield. You know, another thing to look at is Malphite's attack speed debuff is gonna kind of hurt these guys later in the game if they can hit Jax with it especially, but also Corki. You know, it's gonna overall reduce their team damage quite a bit, and it's gonna be a big advantage if he can use it effectively in team fights. So once again, Malphite and Jax performing just totally different roles. Malphite more of a support tank, and you know, Jax really just a incredible duelist.
Do you see this weird as hell Malphite build? He picked up an Abyssal Scepter. He's got his Abyssal Scepter and he's got his Lucky Pick. So he's going AP Malphite. And obviously the Abyssal Scepter has the magic resist on board, but this is a really unorthodox Malphite build.
It is. It's really unusual. You don't see a lot of AP Malphite, or at least I don't. But, you know, we'll just have to see how effective it is. He does have, you know, he does just have a lot of AoE, so you know it's great for his engage. It allows him to do, you know, a little bit more damage, maybe get a few of the enemy champions down to a place where they can be burst by the AP assassins. So you know, we'll just have to see how it plays out.
I don't know, it's sort of a weird build. I kind of got to disagree with it, but I'm not 2,000 plus elo. Kennen getting caught out of position there again. Great grab by Blitzcrank, and this is a gross combo. Between this Skarner and this Blitzcrank, they can just pull and drag anybody into anywhere they'd like so that this Graves can burn them down. It's kind of gross.
It's really gross, and I think what we're seeing here is how, you know, Blitzcrank just changes the whole terrain of games. He's able to, you know, pick people off that otherwise would have been perfectly safe, pull them into the team, get them absolutely destroyed, and, you know, it really cost Red Team that tower. If Kennen hadn't been killed, then, you know, if that whole chain of events hadn't been initiated, then that tower wouldn't have gone down. It would have just been sort of a little poke and then a disengage.
I agree. If the cause hadn't happened, the effect also would not have occurred.
Wow, this is getting deep, my friends.
I know.
Very, very deep. See the pings on Baron? Looks like this Jax is soloing Baron right now. Can they take down Baron quick enough? Is the question.
They might be in an okay spot here. This is risky right now. As you see, the blue team is already making their way over there. And the Baron's just not going down fast enough.
Kennen getting caught again.
Kennen way out of position. Obviously, Kennen can move in first as long as he can lightning rush out. Baron almost dead though. Are we gonna see a smite steal? Who's gonna get it? It was a steal. Blue team got it. They got the steal. Are they gonna be able to turn this thing around and clean up and ace the red team? Oh, it's gonna be so gross. Corki barely surviving. Nautilus with like 20 HP. Graves virtually untouched that whole fight. Able to do a ton of damage. Now my Malphite and Graves are chasing down this Kennen. No doubt Kennen is doomed. Meanwhile, look at this suicide run here from Blitzcrank.
He's just chasing him and he wants a piece.
Oh, can he get it? Nautilus still alive, and there's the ace. Gross, Kennen got killed. Blitzcrank out for blood, picks up the ace. Now they're pinging mid lane. KOT, do you think red team can come back?
I don't know, it's gonna be tough. It just got aced, they lost the Baron. Now they're actually behind in gold by a significant amount, and you know, things are kind of turning. Things are definitively turning in blue team's direction, and you know, it's going to be hard for red team to come back.
Yeah, you got to wonder about that choice to do the Baron. I mean, it's easy to wonder in hindsight, but But yeah, losing the Baron there, losing that team fight puts them in a rough position. Luckily, they did not lose their tower or their inhibitor. They easily could have. They're going to lose their top tower, though. But that's definitely going to hurt their momentum, if anything.
Well, the reality is if you haven't secured any kills on the enemy team and you can't do the Baron really, really fast, you probably just shouldn't do the Baron.
This Malphite's out of position right now. Looks like Nautilus straight up using his ultimate to get the pop-up to hold him up in the meantime. No, they can't chase that down.
Yeah, he flashes over the trees and saves himself.
Kennen, though, going heads up with Ahri in the bottom lane, securing a kill. Kennen able to outduel Ahri just because of that massive burst.
The massive burst, the stuns, very similar champions with the heavy burst and mobility. But I think the stun and the lack of mana gives Kennen the advantage there.
Do you see this retarded amazing movement speed right here with Blitzcrank? He was up over 500, over 9,000 between his mobility boots, his Shurilias, in addition to his own movement speed increasing move. He can really haul ass to get some late game grabs.
Robot's got a little nitro boost.
It's like a triple nitro boost. It's gonna blow that engine out. Kennen now gonna pick up this kill on the bottom tower. Gonna more or less even things up in terms of towers, 4-3. So, despite all these big team fights, these aces and barons, it looks like this is a fairly even game, which is crazy.
It's pretty close now. Less than 1,000 gold, or a little more than 1,000 gold, separates the two teams. I think it's all gonna come down to this next team fight.
And that is often the case when you hit about the 25-30 minute mark, especially when both teams have been doing fairly well. It's been a really good game, very back and forth. No team has had a real strong, clear advantage.
What I
really
think,
at any point.
The red team does not want to have that team fight right now, though. Still 3 Baron buffs up. They need to wait and be defensive until those go down.
Yeah, unless they can catch somebody out of position, they really just need to play defensively, guard their objectives, try and clear their own jungle as much as possible to prevent the enemy team from clearing their jungle and getting ahead. And, very importantly, try to avoid getting caught out of position. Again, that Blitzcrank just changes the whole terrain of the entire game because you're never as safe as you think you are.
You know, notice how that one Blitzcrank, who was actually sort of out of position, pushed away the entire team. Just because if they knew if they got pulled, they would die. Jax going headfirst in there, going straight for the graves, doing what he needed to do. But Skarner ultimate on him pushes him out of the fight. Skarner does secure a kill on Kennen, and now it's a chase down situation where Red has to run. Oh boy, that's gross. Double kill. Oh boy, this could be a GG no re. Blitzcrank got dredge lined. It was great dredge line there by Nautilus, but unable to really get any kills at all. Everybody's still up and running.
No, the burst just too much. As soon as Nautilus got in there, his health just melted away. And so, red team ends up losing both the tower and an inhibitor, putting them in a very, very bad position.
Bad engage there, in my opinion. Jax deciding to go in first. You need that Nautilus to go in head first, then the Jax to follow up like we've described before. But this is a really gross combination on the blue side. You want to talk about all the fantastic initiation options? I mean, we mentioned obviously Skarner and Blitzcrank earlier, amazing initiators. But what about that Malphite too? I mean, it's insane all the options that they have, and that's really coming into play late game. Major chase down situation here though. This Skarner looks like he's doomed.
Yeah, he is done for. Oh, he's popping the shield. Ignite. Oh, and there it is. They really wanted him. That's an anger chase down, is what that is.
Yes.
That's just trying to get a little redemption. But, back to that team fight we saw up here by the tower, what you really saw was effective chaining of ultimates. Jax jumped in, and with his team there, it wasn't necessarily a bad play, but the Malphite ult followed by the Skarner ult, and he was able to do exactly nothing before he had to back up. So, you have to give props to the blue team there for properly chaining their ults and shutting down Jax, who really has the potential to be extremely devastating and turn a 5v5 into a 4v5 real fast.
Looks like this Kennen's getting chased down, having to flash to save Kennen's life. And there's a little bit of an altercation by the dragon. Ahri just kind of slash taunting. Red team sort of in an awkward position. What do you think, MBD? What's the right move for red team right now in terms of initiation? Should they just pull back and be defensive, or do you want to see Nautilus go balls deep?
I think they need to pull back and be defensive here and try and catch the blue team at some sort of objective, either the dragon or the tower, or one of these towers. Right now, they're too spread out right now. And we have Nautilus has been trying to kill Ari on his own. We had Kennen over there in a situation with Skarner and Blitz, and they need to just not do that. They need to have a full team fight, and it needs to be initiated properly via Nautilus.
Fair
It's
enough.
gonna be really hard for them to get a good engage on that team simply because of the amount of CC that they bring to bear. It's gonna be really, really difficult for Red Team to get an advantageous engage. And you know, I'm kind of worried about how they're gonna do just based on how much CC Blue Team's bringing to this game. It's gonna be really difficult for them to really do anything.
It's not a money problem here, too. It's a comp problem. It's not a money problem. Because if you look at that Corky, he's fed as hell. He's got tons and tons of CS. He's doing fine. Also, the Jax is fed as hell. Same thing with the Kennen. That's not the issue. It's a comp issue come late game. I don't know, do you feel like the late game selections from Red Team are able to scale properly? Or is it just the CC factor from the Blue Team that's causing all these issues?
It's the CC and the initiation factor.
Right.
Like you said, they have 3 great initiators and 3 relatively tanky, just really tough guys, and they're getting the Baron. If they get this Baron right here, it's pretty much going to be GG, I think.
Yeah, and there it is. Tons of cash rolling in. Now this full health, all 5 up, Blue Team going in head first. Skarner leading the charge. Run, Red Team. I don't know what they can do. They might just be able to dive this Nexus right now.
I think that's probably what we're going to see happen with them having the Baron. They might not even have to dive the Nexus if Blitzcrank can pick somebody off. But, you know, I don't know that they really need to have Blitzcrank pick somebody off. Just because of the strength of their engage, I feel like they can get in, and the amount of burst they have. Let's not discount Ari and Graves' burst. You know, between those 2 champs, anybody that they get on top of is going to be out of the fight, whether they're killed or they have to back. Nobody can tank all that damage.
It's a fun little split push here. Malphite staying middle to kind of hold the team there for a long enough period of time for them to secure that top tower. Now we got Blitzcrank. There it is. There's that Blitzcrank pull. Janna goes down. The big support down early with 1 person down on the red team and a full blue team, basically full health with Baron buff. This is going to be really, really tough. I think they need to pull back to their Nexus right now. What do you think, MBD?
Yeah, that's pretty much what they have to do. Jax buys a Guardian Angel and then goes charging in. Let's see how well this works out.
Oh boy, that was gross. A great use of the ultimate there from Malphite, popping up 3 people at a time. Kennen was able to secure the kill on Graves, but now Ari's racking up triple kill. Gross. Oh my. Oh my.
That's an ace, and that's going to be a GG, my friends.
Wow.
There's just no way Red Team can recover from this. There's just nothing that they can really do about it at this point.
So much CC.
Down for 20, 40 more seconds. Skarner, he says in chat, he says making plays, and yeah, that's what we saw. That's what we saw from the blue team. We saw they were making the plays.
They were, and I guess that's what their team does, right? Between Malphite, Skarner, and Blitzcrank, it's all about making plays with those big moves, those big engages, and it really worked out for them. This was a really fun game. This was a really fun game to commentate.
Well, it was a really good game overall. It was very even up until the very end. And again, I really feel like just the strength of the initiation for Blue Team is really what set this right. But also, the other big factor is that perhaps bad decision to go for the Baron. You know, I just, again, if you don't have an advantage, if you don't have a couple of the enemy champs down, and you can't do the Baron really fast, then you probably shouldn't do the Baron.
Risk reward wasn't there.
Yeah. To piggyback on that, though, they were going for the Baron, and they didn't have Corky in place to really deal the damage, or Kennen there for the beginning part of that. It was just Jax and Nautilus. They didn't have the majority of their team's damage there to knock that down quick. I think the timing was good, but their team wasn't there. It was bad. It was bad. The team didn't rally around that. MBD, what's your #1 factor of the match?
The #1 factor, it's got to be that Baron. That literally, I think that completely turned the game around. It was very, very even. That not only did it give them that advantage for that at couple team fights, but it's the momentum factor. You lose that Baron, you get it stolen from you. It's your morale goes in the toilet, and that, you can't put a number on it, but that's a very, very important part of this game.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm gonna give my #1 factor of this game. I've said it a bunch of times. It's team comp. It's team comp. With that, between the Blitz, Skarner, and Malphite, I mean, you're in initiation heaven. All you need is a Moo on there, and forget about it. I mean, they have just some of the top 5 initiates all on one team. and they were able to use them effectively. And to me, that's the #1 factor. Great game. Shout out to C4Tuna for hooking us up with this high elo replay. Guys, there's a big annoying yellow link in the middle of the screen. Click that. That'll take you over to our TGN League of Legends channel. We're posting videos on there on a regular basis, the FTW crew, so click that, go subscribe. There's not going to be that many more League of Legends videos on TGN Central. The new home is that place where the link takes you. Up in the top left-hand corner is the link to our FTW playlist, and top right-hand corner is a link to our FTW channel. Thanks for casting with me, MBD and KOT, and we will see you in our next cast. Go ahead, say it. What?
I want to apologize real quickly to my buddy C4. All the games we've cast so far have ended up in you losing, but it is what it is, my friend. I want to make you look like a noob.
It was an epic Nautilus, though. We were complimenting Nautilus all game, though, because that was some great Nautilus play. So, regardless, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next cast.
FTW.